Successful women break down midway through dating. They're strong, they're independent. Why does that happen? Stop. Try that again. Why strong, successful women break down through dating, midway through dating. They start strong and then they break down. And it's not weakness. It's what happens when you stop controlling so much about yourself and the truth surfaces. It's like the first time I realized my self-sabotage was stopping me from feeling attractive. It was stopping me from being in photos, enjoying photos because I zoomed into my stomach that I didn't like, or as I got older, my neck, my wrinkles, whatever it might be, it doesn't really matter. We all do it, right? We've all got our thing. When we start to get really clear about what we want, which is what I did when I realized I needed to do something differently, I was 63 and I was alone. I was lonely. I was very successful. I got a mortgage when people said you won't get a mortgage as a single woman. I'd moved away from my marriage of 22 years, the last 10 of which I wasn't happy to be where I was. And then I moved to another state where I didn't really know anybody. Then I started up a business where I was mentoring women, long-term unemployed, women that had come out of incarceration, women that had come out of domestic violence. And I did a lot of work around disengaged youth, kids that had come out of juvie, kids that had trouble in their life, horrid situations in their life, and nothing that they created themselves, really. It's to do with how we were brought up, what we experienced, what we saw. And even those of us that have come from functional homes are still affected. Like, I was taught to dim my light. I felt like I wasn't worthy. And so that saw me going into relationships like that. And then I realized that while I was protecting myself, while my protector as such was there, my self-sabotage person too, I basically was protecting myself so I could get up, I could recover, I could go and start a business, get a house. You just watch me, I'll get a mortgage. And then I realized that this is all really great. But at the end or the latter section of my life, let's say, if we're speaking honestly, organically, we're towards the latter stage more than we were when we were in our 30s. Yeah. The latter stage of my life, if I want to be with somebody who sees me, hears me, feels me, that's there for me, that get rid of this desire to be loved, first of all, I needed to start here, which is not as easy as we think. We're confident, we're successful, we do love ourselves, we're proud of ourselves, but there's something still blocking us. And so once we get confident about what we want and we start to realize what a catch we are, how much value we have, how beautiful we are, how intelligent we are, whatever it is that we're working on. When we really get that, when the penny drops, as they used to say back in England, then it's like a pivotal moment that could be sad and spiraling because you've been repeating that pattern for so long, and where did it come from, and all of those things. But we have to take a switch because time is of the essence. Turn it around and go, rightio, that ain't happening anymore. That's happened enough for me. I'm going to start dating from this new space now. I'm grateful that I can see what it was I was doing to hinder myself. So when you say dating's harder, and dating's debilitating, or it's all of those things. When you've been hurt, when you've been abused, when you've been manipulated, when you've been ghosted, when you've been love bombed, how the heck are you supposed to be soft and vulnerable? Your protector is going to stand up even more. What you want to learn to do is let your protector stand by your side, and you make the decisions from where you are today not make decisions about your future from where you were before. I get very passionate about this because I did this for, let's say I started it when I was 10, 20, doesn't matter. If I started it when I was 20, that means I did it for 40 years. 40 years. If I live to 80, that's half my life. So, in actual fact, if I started it when I was 10, if you think about it, that's 53 years. That's a lot, or 50 years, whatever. 53 for me. So the sooner the better. It matters not when you notice it. It matters not when it started. What matters is that you take action now, because if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, it's a sign of insanity. You know, you want to know why you feel emotional when things start going right, or why you pull back? This is where most women self-sabotage, and they don't even realize they're doing it. They're confronting themselves. There's a hidden sabotage pattern that no one talks about in dating, and they're going to talk to you about that.